Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of Eye on Port. This program is proudly brought to you by Serene Insurance, World PLC, the Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Link, Meridian Port Services and Phoenix Insurance. Our proud media partner is the Business and Financial Times. This program is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. So this week we are exploring Ghana's fisheries sector through the lens of a fisheries expert in the person of Godfred Beidou Chibu. He has actually written a book on fisheries, and we tend to explore this particular book and to find out how Ghana's fisheries industry is faring. Let's take a listen.
Ghana went into, a yellow card.
Yes.
2013.
Yes.
And that was when I got to the Monitoring, Control and Surveillance Division. And it was tough for us. I remember at that time, somebody in the port, told me that it had even affected, trade.
Right. Import and exports.
Import and export. So that was the extent to which,
the economy was ravaged
could go.
Yeah.
So I've written about it.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate that, as we speak, Ghana has a second yellow card, which it is grappling. With.
We have one at the moment.
At the moment,
I thought
since 2020,
okay.
Since 2021. The first one was 2013 to 2015. Then we had the green restored. But currently there is one from 2021 which is still, work is still ongoing as far as, to get Ghana.
What do we need to do to get out of this as a country?
Yeah, fisheries is not only domestic,
yes.
It's international. So you must meet international obligations. Your own laws, you must meet them.
Right.
Yeah. So when you are not meeting them, it affects your status internationally.
Right. Yes.
And, according to UNCLOS, the fish in your water belongs to everybody.
Yes.
So anybody can take action. And this is what the EU has been doing, the European Commission has been doing.
Yeah.
They have been sanctioning countries, especially those that they trade with, when they fall foul of their own law and that of international.
Yes.
So that is how we have got the yellow cards. And to come out of it, it means that there are a set of measures that you have to meet.
Right.
Yeah, there's a set of measures. The first one, we had to review our laws. So quickly we had to do an amendment to the Fisheries Act. We had the Act 880, and then we also had the LI 2217,
right.
Which was a regulation, amendment regulation. There were a few things that we did to get us out of the yellow card at that time.
Yes.
I think currently what they are looking at is to review the entire fisheries law.
Right.
And that is still being done. I think it has progressed considerably.
Yeah.
So that is being done, and I hope that when that is finished, I believe that the green will be restored, back to Ghana.
Right. So do we foresee us having a green in a short term, or you think that it might take some time, given the fact that we received it in 2021, if I got you right?
Yeah, it depends on how serious the country takes it.
Right.
The first one, it took 2 years
to be able to ameliorate it,
and then
the situation
it was resolved.
Yes.
But this one since 2021, so we are entering perhaps the fourth year.
Yeah.
And Ghana is not the only country that has gone under a yellow card.
Yeah.
There are, I've seen recently even Senegal.
Okay.
Liberia is under a yellow card, and I think Cameroon is also under a yellow card. And you may end up with a red if you are not able to do.
So under red, what's the situation like?
No, what the yellow is a warning, just like yellow card in football.
Yes.
It's a warning, and when you are warned, it means you have to play,
very carefully,
very cautiously. Yes. So when you have a yellow card in fisheries, it means that you have to be cautious the way you go about your fisheries.
Yes.
There are a few things that you have to do, and if you do them, you can easily come out of it.
You're right.
But if that delays, for too long, it means that, and then you continue to even exacerbate the
practice,
issues.
sure.
Then, I mean, a red card will be, issued, and that means that, you cannot trade.
Right. You can't export.
Trade. Even, you cannot export at all. Now, when you are exporting, there's a lot of scrutiny.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scrutiny. But when you have a red, it means that it affects your trade, seriously.
Right.
And you may not be able to trade at all with EU as far as fish is concerned.
Right.
And a country like Ghana, which does a lot of tuna export, for instance.
Yes.
When we get there, that will not be too good
for us.
For us. It will affect, jobs. It will affect
absolutely
a whole lot of things.
So that brings me to my next question, which has to do with how significant the fishery sector is to the Ghanaian economy. You just mentioned jobs.
Yeah.
We talked about exports.
Ghana is...
And that also means that we would have some foreign, exchange.
Yeah, Ghana traditionally is a fishing country. We've been fishing for over 400 years.
Right.
And it is interesting to note that, along the West African coast, even as far as Angola, you find Ghanaian fishing communities, which have established for so many years, for so many years. So Ghana traditionally is a fishing, nation.
Right.
And for that matter, you have a lot of people engaged in the sector.
Right.
What we say is that about 10% of the population, 10% of the population, now we are about 330 plus million. So now you are talking about 3 million people who directly or indirectly, extract their livelihoods from, the sector. So jobs and then incomes, because fishermen go fishing, they bring fish to sell, fishmongers buy the fish, they turn, into various products.
Yes.
People buy fresh fish and export. These are jobs. There are other ancillary jobs. Like those who are building the boats, those who are, repairing, machines, those who are, selling nets. Yeah. It's a very big, big, industry. Yeah. And when you take fish, Ghanaians also like fish. Yeah. I think we eat fish above the average per capita, as far as FAOs is concerned. So we eat a lot of fish from the coast to the hinterland.
Do you have any statistics on that to inform us?
I think Ghana is about 20 to 25 kg per capita.
Per capita.
And that is above the 14 kg as far as FAO statistics are concerned. Right. So, nutritionally we benefit from fish, economically we benefit from fish, and culturally, many coastal communities have their Homo war and all those, tied, to fisheries. Yes. So it is very important. It is part and parcel, of Ghanaians. Yeah. So it is something that we cannot, joke with it.
Absolutely.
I mean, we need to work very hard, to protect, the resource.
Absolutely.
And all of us, including consumers of fish, we must, take interest that we need to protect, the resource because 10% of the population depend on it. Wow. Then all of us also eat the fish. So that is something that we need to, seriously protect.
Yes. All right. So you mentioned one issue in your preamble that has to do with child trafficking. One of the articles that are published. How rife is it at the moment?
Yeah, it has existed. Maybe as far as we have had fisheries. And what happens is that you find it more in the inland
Right.
On the Volta Lake, for instance. And, you know, fish is seasonal.
Yes.
So when it is out of season in the marine, you find children, you find fishermen moving into the inland.
Yes.
And in the inland, the dynamics are different. You know, on the Volta Lake, we have trees
Yes.
in the water.
Yes.
Because
The trumps.
in forming the lake,
Yes.
you know, there were forests. And then the forests were inundated.
Yes.
You know, so there are trees, stumps still standing in the lake. So when fishermen go fishing and throw their nets, they get entangled. And when they get entangled, it requires that, you know, somebody goes down there in the water to, you know,
disentangle it.
To free,
Yes.
the nets. And they find children, you know, suitable, more suitable. So there's a need for children.
Is it because of their weight or size?
Their size. So being fishermen children, they know swimming, they know diving to some extent. And now they are trafficked to somebody there. Maybe they are paid for, and there is evidence of that.
Right.
And, you know, these children work in fisheries. And when they do that, it means they don't go to school, they don't eat well. You know, their future, I mean, is jeopardized. So it is something that we need to understand properly and, you know, make the effort to stop it.
Right.
Yeah, to stop it.
Right. So, so in the fisheries sector, are we able to draw a dichotomy between child labor and, you know, child trafficking? What's the difference?
Yeah, child trafficking means you are moving somebody maybe against their will.
Right.
Against their will.
Their will, yeah.
And these are children, they are not yet up to when they should be employed.
Yes.
Now they get there, and now they cannot even negotiate anything.
Absolutely.
They just get there, and they say, oh, this is the man you are going to work with.
Yeah.
And the man takes the person.
Because the
and then
parents are taking the money already.
And that is taking the money already.
Guardian, so to speak,
and that is it. So that is against the children's
rights, fundamental
rights and will. And on top of that, they are denied education.
Yes.
They are denied health. You know, these are remote places along the lake.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you are sick, it depends.
Yeah.
If you get well, fine. If you don't get well. And I think there has been, you know, situations where when these children dive and they get, I mean, they drown.
Yes.
Sometimes they may not even,
Find them, retrieve the bodies.
make the attempt, you know, to
retrieve
them.
Yeah.
So this is something that has gone on for some time, and it requires that, you know, we understand it and we take a good look at it.
How does this phenomenon affect the general industry in terms of our trade? I know that's one of the issues that the European Union and other international organizations look at. That if you are involved in child trafficking, or child labor in your sector, you are not allowed to do business. I mean, you are warned, and sanctions are brought up against you.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I think that it shouldn't even take somebody from outside. It should be ourselves. It should be ourselves. I mean, how do you want to treat your own child? You know, so if you are eating fish, now you begin to think, how was this fish caught?
Absolutely.
And then when we begin to trace, you find that sometimes, you know, the fish was caught illegally. And it is also tainted with, you know, these human rights abuses, child labor and things like that. So we must begin to, you know, assess.
Right.
You know, we should not just, oh, this is good fish, you eat it and you just eat it. We must begin to understand how the fish was caught. How the fish, and these illegalities, you know, not only affecting humans, but affecting the fish also.
Absolutely.
Affecting the fish also in the artisanal, the canoe fishery, in the semi-industrial fishery, you find the use of, small mesh nets. Yeah. You find the use of explosives, chemicals, to fish. So when you are eating fish, perhaps you need to understand where that fish is coming from. How was the fish caught? If it was caught with chemicals, explosives, I've explained how a fisherman, got,
Dynamite,
maimed.
I'll come back to that.
Yeah,
yes.
You must begin to understand that, yes, when I'm enjoying the fish, then I must be thinking about, the fish. I must be thinking about the people who catch the fish. I must be thinking about how, the fish, was caught. In the other sectors like the trawl sector, I've talked about psycho.
Yes.
Until recently, psycho was rife. And psycho was just, trawler operators who, go out there to fish, but then target, small pelagics, juvenile fish, and then transship these to, specialized canoes. And it went on for a very long time, and it also affected, the fish stocks, especially the pelagics. Yes. So currently, fishermen complain they don't get fish. Yes. Even when we have closed season and the season is open, they still don't get fish because a lot has happened, to the fish, to the extent that now you cannot get the fish. You cannot get the fish. And you find government subsidizing fishermen to be able to go fishing. But these don't, produce the fish. I will describe that as even harmful, subsidies, because it goes to increase the capacity. You have many of them able to go fishing. And then when they go fishing, because there's competition for the little fish, now they have to use illegal methods also, to fish. And you may also find that the subsidies don't even sometimes end up in the sector. They may be, diverted into other,
Joe from Teshi says, I've seen parts of your book, Mr. Bedu Chibu. You mentioned the impact of illegal mining on, come on, let me get this right. Yeah. I've seen parts of your book, Mr. Chibu Dako, Mr. Bedu Chibu. You mentioned the impact of illegal mining on marine ecosystems earlier. As a concerned Ghanaian, how do we balance the need for economic activities like mining with the protection of our environment and fisheries?
Yeah, I think one solution should not be a problem for solution in one sector should not be a problem in another, sector. I mean, there are rules, there are standards, there are whatever.
Absolutely.
For doing mining, for doing fisheries, and I believe that if those are followed, diligently, we should be able to mine without destroying our water bodies, and then we'll get the minerals, to support the economy.
Frank in Amasaman, that's the last message we're going to be taking. Frank in Amasaman, he says, Mr. Bedu Chibu, as someone who has worked with the Fisheries Commission for over 30 years, what do you think has been the biggest barrier to building the Commission's capacity to effectively implement policies and enforce regulations? And what practical steps can be taken now to strengthen its ability to manage Ghana's fisheries sustainably? That's the last one. You have barely 1 minute to profile response and wrap up.
Yeah, I think it's a human institution, so we need one to recruit, qualified. It's a science-based. The core business is science.
Yes.
Fisheries, zoology. Those are the things you need to understand fisheries. Yeah. So we need people with those skills, to be recruited into the organization. Yes. Fisheries is everywhere. So we need a lot more people into the fisheries commission. And then capacity building. While they are there, their capacities have to be built.
Absolutely.
I have worked in monitoring, control, and surveillance.
Yeah.
You know, how do you monitor the environment such that people don't do illegalities?
Absolutely.
It is a big thing that you have to do. You need equipment. You need interagency cooperation. You need funds. You need a whole lot of things. We've had situations where even observers, you know, sometimes get missing. You know, it's all part of making sure that we have a hold on fisheries.
Absolutely.
You know, but it is something that we need to work at.
Right.
Government has to invest because fish. I think according to World Bank, it says our fisheries, you know, is valued around $1 billion. $1 billion. So something that is valued at $1 billion, I think every year you should be able to spend about a quarter of $1 billion, you know, to make it work.
Exactly.
So that was Godfrey Bedu Chibu, the fisheries expert and also fisheries consultant, telling us how Ghana's fisheries industry could be developed and also could improve and generate the needed revenue for the state. Iron Port returns after this break.
Good energy brings you quality choices with Goil Super XP. Available in many Goil stations nationwide. It is fortified with special additives that help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Branch into a Goil station today and energize your ride with Goil Super XP, compatible with most vehicles. Goil Super XP will feel ya, huh? Will be feel. Goil, good energy. Yeah, yeah.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, streetlights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is, you still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302-246-319 or 0243-690-492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Welcome to the GPHA port of Takoradi, Ghana's first commercial port. The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, GPHA, has in its quest to position the ports of Ghana as the leading trade and logistics hub of West Africa, embarked on a massive expansion drive at its Takoradi port, the first commercial port of the country. This has resulted in a radical transformation of the initial 7-berth low-drafted port, which was constructed in 1928, to an ultra-modern port fitted with deep drafted container, multi-purpose dry bulk, and liquid bulk facilities. The 16-meter deep dry bulk terminal is the deepest in the sub-region, with a total quay length of 800 meters. It is fitted with a combined 3-kilometer length conveyor system, which comes with a 2,500 metric tons per hour ship loading capacity, which has greatly improved ship turnaround time at the port. The Marshall Liquid Bulk Terminal is a fully automated liquid bulk facility dredged to -14 chart datum and equipped with automated firefighting system. The facility is fitted with 5 loading arms for gasoline, diesel, LPG, bitumen, and heavy fuel. On the container side, Takoradi Port's 16-meter deep Yield-Port and ATSL container terminal with a quay length of 600 is expected to receive container vessels in the third quarter of the year.
Welcome back from the break. It's now time for us to take some international ports and maritime news. London-based container ship owner Global Ship Lease has penned a deal to purchase 4 High Reefer Eco 9,115 TEU container ships for an aggregate purchase price of $274 million. According to London-based data provider Vessels Value, the box ships were built by the Philippines-based Hanjin Subig shipyard and are being sold to Global Ship Lease by China's Minsheng Financial Leasing. The units are slated for phased delivery between December 2024 and January 2025. It is expected that Global Ship Lease will pay for them with a combination of cash on hand and debt. According to Global Ship Lease, the new ships are on time charters to an undisclosed line operator with varied median firm durations extending for an average of 4.7 years or up to an average of 5, that is, if all charterers' options are exercised. French shipping major CMA-CGM has taken delivery of its latest eco-friendly 5,500 TEU container ship from a part of China's State Shipbuilding Corporation. The vessel is the 8th 5,500 TEU container ship delivered by Beihai Shipbuilding and the 19th ship delivered by the shipbuilder this year. The company also held a christening ceremony and the vessel was named CMA-CGM Quarry. With a total length of 255 meters, a beam of 40 meters, and a depth of 22 meters, the CMA-CGM Quarry has a structural draft of 14 meters. It boasts of a service speed of 21 knots, and its energy efficiency design index is improved by 53.4% compared to the baseline, making it a highly environmentally friendly vessel, according to the company. Now, schedules of vessels in the port, those at Aggrey and those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate you need to know to clear your goods from the port next. We have your comments next.
Aku from Keta says, "Hello Iron Pot. This conversation is very enlightening. It's inspiring to see a book like Bits and Pieces connect Ghana's fisheries challenges with actionable solutions. I hope this sparks real change in policy and community actions."
It's now time for the phrase of the day. Set point. Set point refers to specific temperature that a refrigerated container has been set to keep. Ideally, the set point and the actual temperature should be identical throughout the voyage. Let's take a look at some health and safety tips.
Screen time for corporate workers. On average, experts recommend limiting continuous screen time to 2 hours at a stretch, followed by a 15-minute break to reduce eye strain and maintain productivity. Over the course of a workday, corporate workers should aim to keep total screen time to around 6 to 8 hours, balancing it with off-screen tasks whenever possible.
Now, this is where we draw the curtain on this week's episode of Iron Pot. Thank you for watching and thanks to the entire crew. Join us same time next week, and also don't forget to follow us on our socials on your screens. Thank you.